Hello, and welcome to today's video. Today we are looking at Proof of the Afterlife by Bee's Knees Lacquer. This is a violet jelly base with pink to orange to copper to gold shimmer. There are also some silver reflective glitter in there as well. I realized the other day I've been doing this for nearly a year. My earliest videos really aren't even videos, but I had to start somewhere or I thought I was just going to keep pushing it off. I'm not going to try to qualify what I'm doing right now as high art or anything like that, but I do think I've improved. And apparently I still have things to say about polish. Although it is arguable that at least a quarter of my videos are really just me talking about fish, frogs, and birds. I'd spend more time talking about turtles, but for some reason, nail polish just doesn't remind me of them. Note to self, look up more turtles. Maybe I'm just missing out. I am proud of myself for my consistency, if nothing else. That's been in question more recently, but I think I'm back on an even keel. But on to the actual subject of today's video. In the first coat, you can see the shimmer is a large particle. We're mostly going to see it as an orange or pink in this lighting. You can see that base is quite pigmented, and I think you can see how it is indeed a violet on the stem of the brush. I will say right away, this did not stain. I can't guarantee that will be the same for everyone, but I had no staining. I did wear this before I got all the bright pink staining from All My Life I've Been Selfish. We are still skipping around in the timeline. I want to also point out that the silver reflective glitter do show as silver here. This will become important later. The base gets to full saturation in 2 coats. However, I noticed that my middle and ring fingers were showing some unevenness, so those nails needed 3 coats. That was because of my heavy ridges on those fingernails. When that happens, I just end up doing 3 coats everywhere. While I'm wiggling my thumb, you won't see any nail line only because my thumbnail is so short, but also because the amount of illumination from my lights isn't all that strong. The polish still had some amount of transparency into. I liked this look, so I will probably wear this in 2 coats in the future. But if you hate nail line, 3 is the way to go. We're back at Apocalypse nails. I had to file them down due to breaks just about everywhere. The ends of my fingernails are splitting a lot. I'm hoping the change to spring will help me out. I think I'm going to try to keep them a little rounded in order to see if they survive my abuse any better than they did in the square shape. In the third coat, I do cover my ridges in a way that I'm happy with. This way, when I got out into the sun, I wasn't going to see every single ridge distinctly. I think others would probably be satisfied with 2. I feel like I make this recommendation a lot. If you like a more sheer look, stay with 2. If you don't have terrible ridges, you can probably get away with 2. The channel bias probably shows here because I do tend to like jellies and sheers. So if you want those to be opaque, you're going to need 3 coats. If you can even get these sheer jellies opaque. I console myself knowing that you guys can see each layer go on so you can make judgments for yourself. Clearly, you are the best judge to understand how you would like to wear a polish. We have made it into the sun. I think the first thing I'd like to talk about here is the reflective glitter. Even though it's silver, I only see a pop of silver here and there. Mostly, the glitter seems to have been subsumed by the shimmer, and it sparkles that color instead. At the right, you can see that shimmer is very warm, a bright pink into coral. As I move toward the left, it gets more orange into copper. You'll be able to see on my thumb the more coppery gold color that it's transitioning to. We will see more shifts in different lighting. The polish has a good balance of shimmer to base. You can still clearly see the violet base, but the warm shimmer is also quite visible. I was surprised to see that I didn't have anything like this polish. If you saw my purple comparison, you are well aware that I have a problem with violet polishes. When I did go looking in my collection for duplicates, the closest thing that I found was a glam polish that had golden toned flakes in it, and that was just not close enough for me to be concerned. In the Sun and Shade, we start out mostly shaded, and you can see that copper into orange and pink. In the little gaps of sun, you can see how pink and coral the shimmer looks. My pinky is picking up the most copper into gold, and you will see those flashes on that particular finger. And I will note here that the silver reflective glitter are still picking up the color of the shimmer and flashing that. At the far left, it does look more multi-chrome, more metallic. You can see the pink at the ends of my nails, and it transitions to orange and copper as we head toward the cuticle line. There is the odd time in this shot that I do see my ridges, but they aren't showing up as low spots, more so just as textured, which they are. When I started this script, I was going to describe this as not the shiftiest of polishes. This polish does shift a fair amount, it's just all in warm colors, so it might be easier to overlook. In the final shot, you can see that gold and copper into orange and pink on my nails as I face the window. As I roll over to the left, it becomes more red in the artificial light. I'd call that a scarlet or a ruby red. I was surprised that it got all the way over to that color. I thought that was going to be just one of those colors you see at the edge of the bottle that never actually appears on the nail. The reflective glitter really isn't doing anything in this lighting, but that is not really any surprise. Reflective glitter shows best in bright light. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe so that I can construct tiny flags that I will use to teach my chipmunks a version of semaphore. That way they can communicate without making any sounds that would attract predators. Please enjoy a clip of my chipmunk stamping her feet at a rival in the distance. You can see how in pink and coral the